Deaf? Don't try that Halloween shit with me.
You are now listening to the voice of horror.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the Night Watch Zone.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on Tuesday night, which means, you know what that means, Coriander?
Oh, yeah.
We're going into Battle World, baby. That's where we're going. Eric's with us as well. And this is going to be fun, man. This is going to be fun. We got some cool stuff for tonight's episode. For you guys in the chat, a blanket hello, as always. We got Ben in the chat. What's up, Ben? Ben,
Hey.
one of our channel members on board.
Nice.
In the circle. Very cool. Paula, what's up? Good to see you, Paula. We got Jerry in the chat as well. We got Wayne. What's going on, Wayne? Good to see you.
Hey.
We got Brian. What's up, Brian? All right. Our main man from down under, Ginger Ninja's in the house.
Hey.
What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. We got Melissa. What's going on, Melissa?
Hello.
Hope you're doing well. All right. Ginger Ninja said, I have not seen either of these in a good long while. Yeah, and that's what's so fun about this is that, for us, as we do these episodes, we get a chance to sometimes watch movies that we haven't seen in a long time. And of course, get to talk about it with you guys. That's what makes it so much fun, man. It really, really does. Brandon, what's up? Saying this is going to be interesting because one of these is a linear anthology while the other is more traditional. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. No doubt at all. Let's see. Ginger Ninja. But I mean, Tails has Christian Slater and Debbie Harry, so it's got to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
It's too funny, I tell you. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Who else do we have? And again, we got the general in the chat.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, Val.
Good to see you. Good to see you. And look at this guy. He's all right, man. Thank you so much, man. Just reminding people to slash the like button, share the stream out. And let's try to get to 30K. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Right?
Unbelievable stuff. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Scott's in the chat. What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing well tonight. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Some old school versus a little bit more modern. Yeah. What's up, Philip? Good to see you. All right. Looking good. Looking good. So tonight is going to be anthology versus anthology. What's up, Elm Street? Good to see you too. And man, I don't even know what to think as far as this is concerned. But we've got to find out officially who we have coming in to Battle World. So Eric, we're going to start with you. Who do we have in corner number 1?
Well, we all love Halloween time. You get to play dress up, take the kids out, get candy. If you're an adult, maybe go out to some parties, have some fun. But who knew that there were actual rules of the season of Halloween time? And we all know that when rules are broken, that there are very dire consequences that you have to deal with. So whatever you do, beware that wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't play mean pranks on the nice kid. Be careful of the sins of the past. And make sure you keep those decorations up until November 1st. Because if you don't, you'll have to deal with Sam, who is representing Trick or Treat.
All right. Okay. And Coriander, how about you? Who do we have in the other corner?
All right. So sometimes if you're in mortal danger, you got to talk your way out of it, especially if your kid is being held prisoner by a witch with a heart of glass. The lessons are: don't mess with mummies and vengeful cats. Don't spill your guts to a gargoyle who you made a promise to. Here is Tales from the Darkside, the movie.
Very good. I like that.
All right. All right. You cut that one up. All right. All right. Good one. Good one. This is going to be interesting. Kill's not with us here tonight, but I'm going to do some of Kill's commentary. These are two movies that I've enjoyed so much ever since I was a kid, and I think they're unbelievably great as anthologies. And not only that, but I miss anthologies. It seems like we got to have more of them because it brings me back to things that are similar to, like, the Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, that type of thing. Tales from the Crypt, and obviously Tales from the Darkside, the TV show. Which used to be a real favorite of mine. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight. All I know,
I've never seen the TV show.
You've told me that before. At one point, we were discussing maybe going through the TV show and talking about it with the folks in a live format. But we'll see. You never know.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely 80s cheese, so you know what you're getting into. But you'd be surprised that a lot of the stuff they got away with having it on network television.
That's very, very true, man.
Because a lot of it was very, very dark and very adult, because it was like 8 o'clock after kids get in bed. But at that time, it still was pushing the envelope a lot.
Well, yeah, and I remember as a kid, I would watch that, especially me and my brother and my cousins. And man, it used to get us. There was, like you said, there were some dark things to it. So really good stuff. But hey, let's get this battle going. Guys, do you hear it? Because I hear it.
I do.
I hear a lot of footsteps, man, because we got a lot of stories between these two movies. We got mummies, we got wolves, we got gargoyles, we had everything. So anyways, for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax as we head into Battle World.
Do it.
3,000-year-old mummy really did come back to life anyway, huh? But I do have another idea.
Goodness, it's almost 1 o'clock. We've got to get things started.
Is it a love story?
All right.
Very good, dude.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. These look, I'm ready to do this thing, man. We got some good stories in this
Mhm.
thing. Real quick, too, for you guys that are just jumping in, blanket hello. We won't be able to get to everyone tonight, but thank you for being here, Joe. We got Mayan in the house, our good friend Dan in the house. Good to see you
Hey,
guys.
Dan.
Now, we're going to do this like we usually do it. We're going to category by category and give our points to the film that we think deserves it. Now, for you guys in the chat, you can also let us know which movie that you would like to see get the point. We may not get to all of you guys. Matter of fact, I know we won't get to all of you guys. But if you send in a super chat, we will make sure we get to your comment and or question. Plus, you get the opportunity to help vote and give points to the movie that you want. So if you send in a $5 super chat, it'll be 5 points to that movie. Plus, it'll help to support the channel. We'd really appreciate it as we continue this series, as we're heading close to 30 episodes in
Damn.
Battle World alone. Absolutely crazy. Who would have thought, man?
I
You
didn't.
know?
I honestly thought this
Mhm.
was just going to be like a one-time thing, and then we
That's
all
right.
just got into it and having fun, and the chat started to dig it.
Yeah.
So no stopping.
Yeah. Yep. No stopping. No stopping. What's up, David? Good to see you. We got Fluff in the chat. We got some new channel members, by the way. And welcome to
Nice.
all the new channel members. We had a lot of
Yeah.
gifting in the last couple days. We also
Mhm.
gifted some memberships, which was a lot of fun to do because, again,
Yeah.
we want to help to continue to grow this community and have as many new people joining us as possible. It just makes things so much fun. It really, really does. Okay, let's bring this up, Eric, and get this thing underway. As always, we're going to go category by category. So the first category that we always start with is going to be the poster art. So once that comes up, we'll be doing the poster art, and hopefully, also just to say, hopefully Wi-Fi will hang on for us because we've got the storm going on too. It's really
Yeah.
crazy. It really is. And let me know when you guys see that because I've got it up now.
Okay. Nothing yet, but again, we'll
Okay.
blame the storm for all the technical difficulties.
Oh, definitely. You definitely can blame the storm. So let me just move this here. Okay. How about now? Do you guys see anything?
No.
Oh,
There we
yes.
go.
No,
Now I
really?
see Now I see Tales from the Dark Side right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Eric, we'll start with the poster art. We've got Tales from the Dark Side there, and we've got Trick or Treat. Hopefully, Trick or Treat came up pretty quick.
And Trick or
It
Treat is
did.
up. All right.
Okay.
Love them both. I really love
Mhm.
both of these posters. I'm going to go with Tales from the Dark Side because to me, it's more scary. It's,
Mhm.
we have the book motif because it's Tales from the Dark Side. We have this demon in that holding the book. I love how it's mixed into the storm. So you only see part of the face. You see the hands, the lightning. I love the way the actual title is smaller under the text. The
Mhm.
the tagline looks so cool. The colors. I love Little Sam there on Trick or Treat, but I think Tales from the Dark Side works more for a horror movie.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
It kind of reminds me of a gremlin,
Mm-hmm. I
holding a
can see.
book there,
Mhm.
and it's not bad. I'm not a fan of, either of them, so put up the other one, please. At
Do you see
some
it?
point, maybe I'll
No,
see
sir.
it.
Darn.
All right,
Yeah, there's some
so I
lag,
can kind
unfortunately.
of,
See,
I'm gonna go.
the storm doesn't want you to vote against
I
Tales from the Dark
know.
Side. That's what it is.
There
There
you
Okay,
you
there
go.
go.
you go.
There you go.
You know, oh shit. I'm gonna go with cute little Sam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. And real quick in the chat, we've got let's see, Melissa is going with Tales from the Dark Side. Val also saying Tales from the Dark Side. Have to agree with Eric, just a scarier looking poster. Scott going with Tales. Let's see. Elm Street is going with Tales. Brandon's going with Trick or Treat. All right. Saying for the post art, Tails is great, but to agree with Corey, it does resemble a gremlin. Okay. Danielle also saying Darkside, I like the book to tell stories, while Trick or Treat seems more like it's about one person. That's very well said, and I have to agree. I would definitely go with Tales from the Dark Side. And even when I saw this as a young kid, and obviously I'd seen Gremlins a million times, that didn't really bother me. It just, it does look kind of like one, but I just saw it as a monster with a book open. And so it really, really caught me. But even besides that, even if that wasn't the case, I love the coloring of this poster.
Yeah.
I
think
mean,
it's
it
got
looks
some,
like it's got goofy, rubbery fingers. It reminds me of the Hobbit feet. And what the hell was that slasher movie
come on,
where they
man.
looked rubbery?
Well,
I'm just saying.
here's the thing too, is that it looks like it's coming out of like a weird blue cloud. So that might also be why it kind of looks like those like gremlin ears, but that's like part of a cloud. But to me, it was just something creepy. So I really like the
Really?
coloring,
It looks
the
kind of
light.
funny.
Okay, well, let me finish, man. I love the lightning bolts, and I
Welcome
also
back,
love the
Coriander.
font. I know, right? She doesn't let us finish. I love the font for Tales from the Dark Side too. Like that's the other thing that I appreciate about it as well. So I definitely think that that's got to get the point, at least from me. Okay, Eric, let's
Yes, sir.
go to the tagline for these two posters. Now, the tagline for Tales from the Dark Side is 4 ghoulish fables in one modern nightmare. Okay.
Okay.
And then what we have with Trick or Treat is poison, drowning, claw, or knife. So many ways to take a life.
Ooh.
Mm.
You know, Kill's not here to say he doesn't
No,
hate
he's not.
long taglines, but you know what? He's not here to argue with. I'm going with Trick or Treat. Even though that tagline is quite long, it's really enticing me because I don't know who this little guy is. You know what I mean? But
Right.
all those different ways to die, and a movie's called Trick or Treat is based on Halloween, or we're assuming just by the title.
Right.
It's really getting me interested in wanting to see, all right, what is this actually about? Like I can kind of figure out the tagline with Tales from the Dark Side, different spooky tales. This I have no idea what I'm getting into, and that's good marketing for me. I'm going Trick or Treat.
All right. Okay, Coriander, how about you?
What was the other one? Can you read it
The
again?
other one for Tales from the Dark Side is 4 ghoulish fables in one modern nightmare.
Yeah, nah. I like Trick or Treat.
Okay. All right. And real quick too, just to catch up to the chat, Val's going with Trick or Treat as well, Brian. And let's see. I want to catch up a little bit. And we've got Nanette in the chat. What's going on, Nanette?
Hey, Nanette.
See you. Hope you're well. Welcome. And we also have Denisha's in the chat. Good to see you too. And Brandon saying it reminds me of the old school Nightmare on Elm Street posters. Yeah, that's a good point. I agree. That Tales from Dark Side definitely is. I mean, but again, that's a sign of the times for posters. And I think that's what's one thing that's really interesting when we're talking about these different posters back in the 80s and even into the real early 90s, because Tales from the Dark Side was from 1990. They did have they really did have that type of aesthetic to the posters. It was a lot of times like a drawing, a painting, and I think it was
the
really
Tales really makes me
that
think
being
of
said,
Dream Warriors.
Yes, I agree. It really, really does. That being said, for the tagline, I've got to go with Trick or Treat. I think it's very crafty to me. It just kind of pulls in my attention a lot more than Tales from the Dark. The Tales from the Dark Side is really simple and it fits. But this is one of those cases where it might be a little too simple. So I'm going to go with Trick or Treat as far as the tagline. Yeah. Okay. And Nanette, I hope you're doing well.
Yep.
And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right. Let's see what we've got next. Next up, we're going to talk about the opening of the films, Eric. So as
Okay.
always, when we talk about the openings, we're talking about the first couple minutes. It could be up to maybe even 15 minutes of the film. So who do you think should get the point?
Okay, you can stop me if I'm going too far. The opening I'm going to discuss is for Tales, just the opening with Deborah Harry and the boy before the actual story start, and then I'll talk about for Trick or Treat the opening kill with the lady and the Halloween decorations.
Yes.
Okay. They're both really good. They're both really different. I'm going to go with Tales from the Darkside because with Trick or Treat, something's up. You know what I mean? Because once he says, it's tradition, don't take down those decorations, something's going to happen to her. I love the false sense of security you kind of get from Tales from the Darkside. You have Deborah Harry. She's nice. She's waving to all the neighbors. We'll see you in church on Sunday, stuff like that. She walks in like it literally, she's getting ready for a party. And then she opens up the pantry and you see the cage, and then someone throws a book at her, and it's one of the little Lawrence boys. She's screaming for help. And they have great chemistry with each other. Like, I love the scene where he's trying to help her with the math on how long to cook them. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. So it's a lot more fun for me. So I got to go with Darkside.
Okay. All right. Well said. Coriander, how about you?
I do enjoy the opening to Tales from the Darkside, but I do enjoy Trick or Treat, the opening, better. I like how it starts with the gore, because that makes me know that it's going to be kind of all right. No, so far so good.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's it.
That's it, man.
Okay, I didn't know, man. Like you kind of like stopped as I think you thought you were gonna keep on going. Okay, so you're going with Trick or Treat. For me, this is really tough, man, because like you guys said, both of these I think are really good. They're doing two different things. One is definitely got a kill to kind of just grab your attention, but kind of like what you said, Eric. Something is up. The first time I watched Tales from the Darkside, I truly didn't know what to expect from Deborah Harry. Like you said, she's waving to people. She's, giving out hugs and cookies to everybody, and everything is cool. And all of a sudden she opens up that door and you think it's going to be like a pantry or something. And it's a jail cell.
Yep.
It's like, what is going on? And, the chemistry between her and I think it was Matthew Lawrence, I think.
Matthew, yes, the middle boy.
Yeah. So the chemistry that they have in this setup, it's for me, I know I'm going to go on some interesting journey based upon that, because I didn't know what to expect the first time I saw this movie. I had seen other anthologies like, Creepshow and stuff like that, but this was like really, really different. So I got to go with Tales from the Darkside on this one. I just think it was a lot more creative, but I do love Trick or Treat's opening. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
And real quick, chat. Val saying, yes, Nanette, we do hope you feel better. It's not fun having a cold. It isn't.
No.
Denisha's in the chat. Thank you, Denisha. She's putting in the link for the podcast. She's all right, man. Good for you. Good for you. We appreciate you. Brandon saying the opening to Tales pulls the rug out from under you, but Trick or Treat has a surprise reveal of Sam where the scare is coming. You don't know where. Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. Nanette's going with Trick or Treat. All right. Let's see. Troy's in the chat. Welcome. Going with Tales, since it sets up the fact that we will actually get a good wraparound story. Most wraparounds and anthologies are usually very skippable. That's a good point too.
Good point.
Elm Street saying Deborah Harry was great.
Yep.
I agree. She was really good in that role. She really, really was. May is working hard in the chat saying we've got 30 likes. Hit the like button, everyone. And that is true. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. helps to support the channel, and we'd appreciate it. If you have social media, and I know a bunch of you guys do, it'd be great if you could share out the stream. That would be awesome. Jamie saying she's going with Trick or Treat. She said, I picked Trick or Treat for all categories. You don't know all the categories. What if I said who had the best witch? Oh, that's funny.
It's true.
Nathan's in the chat. What's going on, Nathan? Good to see you. You gotta love this. And Nathan has not seen Tales from the Dark Side. You guys should check it out. And definitely, let me also say this too, guys. We have these streams up usually days in advance. We like to have these up days in advance. I would highly recommend to check out the movies that we have battling with each other. That way you do know which movie you would vote for in the categories. And with all of these episodes, we're almost to 30 episodes, and in almost every single episode, there are movies that we would highly recommend. There are a couple where there were movies that weren't great, but they're fun to make fun of. But in general, all these battles have been really good. Strange Monkey, what's up?
Hey, Monkey.
Hey.
He's a Trick or Treat fan too. You guys will love this. All right. Next up, Eric, let's go to music. Music. What do you think?
Both are really good. But I'm going with Tales from the Dark Side, and it's mainly for the opening score, because again, it's you don't know what the expectations are, because once Tales from the Dark Side hits, you get that intense, scary horror type music, but then you get this nice, peaceful, serene music when she's driving through the town, and I think it's perfect. So I'm going with Tales. I can't honestly remember too much more from Trick or Treat other than, but Tales actually sticks out with me.
Yeah. All right, Coriander, how about you?
For some reason, Tales from the Dark Side, that music I'm remembering better than Trick or Treat. So,
all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay. All right. I think here's the thing for me is that Trick or Treat has some really good music. It's kind of spaced out. It's, some pretty good ambiance. But the thing about Tales from the Dark Side is you have, like you said too, Eric, especially in the beginning, you have some of this music that's kind of charming. You have these kind of whimsical tunes. Of course, you have the sinister moments too, especially in things like the Mummy, the Lot 249 story. There's some really good, like, just this music that really hits you. The same thing is true for Cat from Hell. But anyways, the point being is that I think that in general, for me anyways, I think Tales from the Dark Side kind of hits a little bit better, and it's more memorable to me, All right, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Let's see. Well, Brian says we've got 33 likes so far. Right.
Very nice.
Very cool. All right. Jamie saying Trick or Treat is one of my favorite movies. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Phillips in the chat saying I haven't seen Tales from the Dark Side. I have seen Trick or Treat. Okay. All right.
Seems like Tales from the Dark Side is forgotten or not seen. I'm surprised.
I am too. I really am. I definitely think it's a classic from back in the day, especially if you are a fan of old school, like it's not an 80s movie, it's 1990s. It feels like an 80s movie. And if you put it this way, and I'm pretty sure most people in this chat have seen Creepshow, and if you haven't, you got some homework to do. But if you're a fan of Creepshow, if that type of aesthetic, then you'd like Tales from the Dark Side. Is that fair to say, Eric and Coriander?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. If you like Creepshow, then you would definitely like Tales from the Dark Side. All right. Jamie saying Trick or Treat with the dancing around the fire to Sweet Dreams are made of this by Manson Rules. It does. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, let's go to our next category. And Eric, we're going to talk about the story. Okay, so in general, how the story flows from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. Who do you think should get the point?
Okay, if we're going by the way it flows, and that's what you said specifically, I'm going with Tales from the Dark Side because it's a point A, point B, all the way down to point F type of movie. I'm not a huge fan of non-linear films. Trick or Treat does it right. It's very creative, and that was kind of like the thing for a while. With Tarantino doing it and a bunch of other
Yeah.
directors. It's done really well here, but I'm not a fan of them. I like point A, all the way to point D. Boom, boom, boom. Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay. Now, now here's a question.
Mhm.
What about it is kind of the negative? Is it the fact that the stories sometimes you can get lost in it?
It is, and
Or
it's kind of like I'll use Pulp Fiction for an example. Like John Travolta's killed in the middle of the movie, but he's alive at the end. Well, there's a story here where someone is, excuse me, where someone the last story of this movie literally takes place in the middle of the actual story because they have a little, how would you say, a little comic book thing that says earlier in the day. They
right.
could have, for
Yeah.
me, they could have just put that in the middle where it belonged. So, I mean, that could be
All
nitpicky,
right.
but that's just like how I like my stories.
All right. Yeah, no problem at all, man. Well said. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I liked the flow of A Tale from the Dark Side better than
Okay.
Trick or Treat. Yep.
Okay. All right. And real quick in the chat, Brian was saying Tails is wonderful. All right. And we got Mary's in the chat. What's going on, Mary? Good to see you. Saying, hey, Night. Hey, Coriander. Sorry I haven't been on. I haven't been feeling good, but I'm feeling better now. I missed you guys.
Oh,
Well, we're
I'm
glad to
glad
have
you're
you
feeling
here.
better.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year. And we hope that, that you continue to feel better. And for all of you guys that are here, and we were doing this last night as well. But one thing that I want to do that we did last night, and it's the first time that we've done this, but again, we really want to help strengthen the community and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gift some memberships out, and
Nice.
according to what we know, and Sarah was really great about this in the chat last night. It goes randomly, to folks. But one thing we do know, it goes to folks that, have been part of the channel or either, in videos or live
They're
streams and
active.
so forth. So
Yeah.
I'm going to hopefully, yes. Yeah. So I'm going to give YouTube has been kind of wonky about some things lately, but it did work last night. So we're going to gift five memberships.
Nice.
Good for you, dude.
And for you guys, yeah, man. Well, hey, we want to help build up the community and folks that enjoy the content and enjoy the people that we hang out with and that we all that good stuff. So it looks like, and look at this. This was cool. We have it went to Nathaniel, who's back in the fold. Scott Lauderdale. Paula got gifted the
Nice.
membership, and I know Paula is probably very happy about that. Very cool.
Nice.
Mary got gifted a membership, and Nanette. All right. Very, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is very, very cool. I'm glad that it went to you guys. I know you guys really appreciate it. And for you guys, that are around here a lot, sometimes aren't able to do things like memberships, this is a great way to have you guys able to, hang with us when we do exclusive stuff or exclusive watch parties and so forth. So yeah. All right. Very cool. Oh, and you're welcome, Nanette. You're welcome to everyone. And Scott, thank you. That's very kind of you to say too. Very cool. Ginger Ninja welcoming the new members. Very, very cool. We appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Yeah, very cool, guys. Now, for me, story, you guys made a lot of great points, and I it's tough, man. I don't mind the fact that Trick or Treat isn't linear, straightforward. I think it's creative. That being said, I do think Tales on the Dark Side, when we'll get to other categories, so I don't want to jump ahead, but I do think that there's a very cool flow to it. You know what I'm saying? From beginning all the way to the very last second of the film. And I just think that the flow is a little bit better. maybe even a lot better. But anyways, I'm gonna go with Tales from the Dark Side on this one. Okay. All right. Let me catch up to you guys here. Oh, well, thank you, Val. Yeah. And yeah, Scott, definitely. Congrats to the new members.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. And I think I'm caught up to everyone. Okay, let's go to our next category. Eric, we're going to talk about the atmosphere of the movies. Who gets the point?
Oh, both are good because you know me. I've already said I love the Halloween time atmosphere. A lot of things are outside.
Yes,
but I'm gonna go with Tales again because it feels scarier to me. Because you feel, to me, people can say what they want about the Cat from Hell story. People either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
You feel creeped out because of how dark it is, and I'm talking about the lights are always off. You don't know what's going to happen, so you're worried about what's going to pop out. I think
Literally.
Yeah, I think Lot 249, when that mummy comes out, very rarely is a mummy scary. You know what I mean? That mummy felt scary to me in that. So I think the Tales from the Dark Side worked on the scariness atmosphere for me, if that makes sense. A lot more than Trick or Treat.
Okay. All right. And Val, thank you for reminding people, if you have been gifted a membership and if you would like to continue the membership after, unfortunately YouTube doesn't set that up for you automatically. You have to do it, so you just have to hit the auto renew button. Yes. Mary saying, I love both movies, but Tales from the Dark Side is more terrifying. All right. Okay. Troy's going with Trick or Treat. Brandon saying Trick or Treat is the embodiment of Halloween night in every way. All right. Elm Street is going with Trick or Treat. Wayne's going with Trick or Treat. Melissa is going with Tales from the Dark Side. Jamie saying Trick or Treat makes me want to carve a pumpkin and eat candy corn. Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you? What do you think about the atmosphere?
Yeah, I am definitely going to go with Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay. All right. Cool. For me, this is really, really tough because I think both films have great atmosphere. This might be one of the tougher categories for me personally. And I think both do a really good job. Obviously, with Trick or Treat, it's definitely got the Halloween vibe all the way through. Like, it holds that vibe. It's creepy. It's all the little things that we have as
But we're not.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, but
Wait, what?
Tales from the Dark Side, that really isn't a Trick or Treat movie.
I know. I'm not finished.
All right.
Man. Let me finish.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're basing it on that shit, then obviously,
No, I'm just explaining my point. What I'm saying is that the atmosphere in Trick or Treat is based on those things, and I think it holds that very well all throughout. With Tales from the Dark Side, it has really good atmosphere as far as it's being a story that's told by this young boy to this witch, and the three tales work as far as being different tales in a book because he's picking these right off the bat because he's trying to stall, and they do work. That being said, I'm going to go with Trick or Treat because I think that atmosphere is more it holds through the whole movie.
Okay.
Like, it's got that vibe from the very first moment all the way to the end. Just like,
but so doesn't Tales from the Dark Side. Just because it doesn't have a Trick or Treat vibe throughout the whole.
That's not why I'm choosing it. Let me make my choice.
It sounds like it. You can, but I'm just saying it sounds like it.
What I'm saying is that, like with Tales from the Dark Side, let me explain it to you this way. Tales from the Dark Side, it has different atmospheres between the movies, right? And to me, it's more difficult to maintain a singular atmosphere from the beginning all the way to the end. Now, you may not agree with that. Whatever that atmosphere is, whether it's Halloween night, creepy stuff, Valentine's Day, I don't care what it is, but I'm just saying Trick or Treat was able to hold the atmosphere it chose from the beginning all the way to the end.
Yeah, because it was a Trick or Treat movie. This was stories being pulled from a book.
Right, but we can only rate these versus each other. Just like with some
Right.
movies, they have more characters than another. It is what it is. Some movies have an advantage of one thing or another, but it's just my opinion, man.
Oh, I know. I
Oh.
know.
She's like getting on me about my.
I'm not. I'm just trying to, you know.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm just glad I'm not the whipping boy for once.
It's like, wow. Like, let us give our
Oh
opinions,
my
man.
God, you
Hard Cat
can't.
is going with Trick or Treat. Let's see. Scott saying, I haven't seen Tales, so I wouldn't be a fair critic. Okay. All right. And Mary is wishing everybody a wonderful new year. Well, thank you so much, Mary. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to our next category. The characters. The characters in the film. So this is all of the characters
Oh,
from
geez.
each film. So in general, Eric, who do you
All the
think
characters.
all the characters
Oh.
versus all the characters.
I gotta go with Tails. I gotta go with Tails from the Dark Side. I like the characters in Trick or Treat. I love a lot of the characters in Tales from the Dark Side. And it's not just the actors, but Steve Buscemi as the college guy who's getting revenge because he
Bellingham.
because of Bellingham, because of what Julianne Moore is doing, and her boyfriend's doing. David Johansen and William Hickey together, they're fantastic. I love them. Deborah Harry is amazing. I love her, and just the little nods, like this is just everyday Sunday brunch, because of how calm and collected she is when she's explaining. Okay, well, this tool is used for this. This tool is used for this. I'm going to be using them on you in like 2 hours, type of thing.
Right.
And I love again James Remar and Ray Dawn Chong together. They're so good. I'm a sucker for tortured artists, and that's what James Remar is. You know what I mean? A struggling artist.
Right.
To me, there's not that many memorable characters in Trick or Treat other than Sam and maybe Anna Paquin. You know what I mean? So and Brian Cox. So there's
Cox.
Definitely
Dylan
more.
Baker.
Dylan Baker's good, but I think we needed more of him instead of just being the creepy guy under the mask. I wanted more of him, like as his initial character, like when we first met him.
Yeah. It was
so,
funny when he was in the backyard digging up the grave.
Yep.
Oh,
So I'm definitely going to go with Tails, but Trick or Treat is good. Tails is just so much better for me.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
I agree with Eric, So there you go.
All right.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Let's see. Jamie says, it's been so long since I've seen Tails. I can't really remember it. I watch Trick or Treat every Halloween, so it's just what's fresh in my mind. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yesterdays is in the chat. What's up? Good to see you, man. Saying
Hey,
Tales
Derek.
from the Dark Side auto win due to the presence of Debbie Harry and a Lawrence brother. That's all that. I love it. That's funny. Horror Cat is in the chat. What's up, man?
Hey, Horror
Saying
Cat.
again, goes to Trick or Treat for me, though Tales from the Dark Side has the killer cat. There
It
you go.
does.
I should have known. Mary is going for characters Tales from the Crypt for me. All right. Ben saying, I obviously need to revisit Tales. Absolutely. Yes. Brandon saying, I might go with Tales on characters Steve Buscemi and Julianne Moore are the standouts for me. Okay. Now, for me, this is an interesting one because there are great characters in both. Like you were saying too, Eric, Brian Cox, I thought he was really good as the crotchety old man. Dylan Baker, especially his beginning character.
Yes.
That was, I didn't know where that was going to go. I got to admit, that was a really great little story because it's like, what is he going to do? And next thing you know, he's killing kids.
I've loved Dylan Baker forever, and he's a great character actor, and that's why I wish they used him better in this movie. Like I've loved him ever since Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when he's the guy driving the pickup truck when they're trying to get home. And I just think he wasn't used well enough. He was more in the mask than he was in the beginning, and that's why.
Yep. And of course, with Tales from the Dark Side, and I think that for me, the thing with Tales from the Dark Side, I mean, obviously, when you've got a Lawrence brother and you got Debbie Harry, that's really, really cool because they had some great chemistry. But Steve Buscemi was so good. I
Mhm.
mean, he was just amazing. James Remar and Radon Chung. Who
Yep.
would have thought? I would be honest. I would not have thought that was going to be such a great combination. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It was great chemistry. So I have to agree, man. I got to go with Tales from the Dark Side on this one because I just think there's just more characters that are, really, really good.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Let me catch up to the chat here. And Val, thank you for putting the link to Eric's channel. If you haven't subscribed to Eric's channel, please do.
Thank
You
you.
will not be disappointed. And we also have his link in the description of all of our Battle World series episodes and also so many others that he's been gracious enough to join us on. All right. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. And yesterday saying got to bounce. I'll catch up on the replay. No problem, man. Thank you so much
Hey,
for
Derek.
being here. Yeah. Elm Street saying, although it's been a while, tales for the characters. All right. Very, very cool. Next category, Eric. Now, this is what we're going to do because we have a whole bunch of stories combined in these two
Oh
movies.
man, you're gonna
So
make us
what?
pick two?
Yes. So just your two favorite, regardless
Okay.
of which movie they're from. So they could be one from each, or they could be two from the same movie. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, Eric. So in other words, if you picked one from each movie,
Mhm.
each movie would get a point.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with both. My picks are gonna be from Tales, and here's why. I've always loved Lot 249 because, like I said, mummies are almost never scary. This time, a mummy was scary. You know what I mean? And again, we got a great cast. You know what I mean? And now, I didn't really like it as a kid, but your tastes change when you can see stories differently. I love Lover's Vow now. I really, really enjoy that one because, again, struggling artist James Remar. I've always loved that. I love the chemistry with him and Radon Chong. And again, it's such a downer ending. You know what I mean? He didn't want to do it, but he fucked up.
Yeah.
And what I liked about this, she didn't want to do it either, what she had to do. You know what I mean? Turning back into the
Right.
gargoyle and killing him. So I absolutely love that. So I'm going 2 points to Tails, or however you want to do it. I'm definitely picking two stories for Tails.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
So I'm doing two Tales from the Dark Side also.
Okay.
I loved the cat. I'm a cat lover, and
wow.
Yeah, well, in the ending when the cat comes out, he goes into the guy's mouth, right?
Right.
And then he ends up coming out again. So
Yeah.
it's a fun
That's
one.
rough. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of them.
Yeah, and the other one is the lovers one also.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed, the mummy one also, but these two, yeah.
Okay. All right. Real quick too in the chat. Let me just jump to the chat. Hey, what's up, man? We got Garrett's in the chat from Born to Be Rad saying Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, it's a classic. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah.
And Mary, thank you for reminding people. Please, everyone, subscribe. Yes. We appreciate that. If you are not subscribed, please do. Brandon is coming in with Lot 249 from Tales and the School Bus Massacre from Trick or Treat are my picks.
That is a good one for Trick or Treat, but I just love the ones from Tales more.
Same.
Horror Cat saying I had to go with the Zombie Kids and Trick or Treat. Toss up between the Gargoyle story and the Killer Cat for obvious reasons. That's right. Now, for me, this was really challenging. Okay. This was really challenging, and we still have a couple more categories, and we can kind of get into some of the other stuff. But I really like all of the stories from both of these movies. Now, obviously, some more than others. But if I have to pick two favorites, my first pick is Lover's Vow, because I think that, again, I had no clue where that was gonna go. I like stories like that. That's why I'm such a big fan of things like The Twilight Zone and Outer Limits and anthologies like this, when you have no clue on where the hell you're going with this. Lot 249, I really love. It used to be one of my favorites as a kid. But you do kind of know probably where it's going to go. I'm not taking away from it, but I'm just saying there would have been a time I would have definitely said Lot 249. But instead, I'm gonna pick Lover's Vow, and I'm also gonna pick the School Bus Massacre from Trick or Treat. And the thing about the School Bus Massacre, what I really liked about it was a cool setup. You got these kids, they're trick-or-treating, they're meeting up. You have no idea, exactly what's going to be happening. They go to that damn quarry. It's creepy. It's got the mist and the fog, kind of like what I showed in the intro. I love some of the camera work of that and how it's just a creepy scene, right? And then of course telling this story. So it's like you have a story within a story, because the young girl in the angel costume is telling this creepy story about this massacre. And I was just really digging that part of it alone. But then when it comes to the point where, okay, there are zombies and this and that, and kind of how it all went, it was great. I really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna go with Lover's Vow from Tales and the School Bus Massacre from Trick or Treat. All right. Let's see real quick. And Melissa was a fan of Twilight Zone. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Wayne, a fan of Lover's Vow. That's right. And Brian says, I'm back. All right.
Welcome.
Good to have you back. Elm Street saying the school bus was awesome. Yeah. And he's also going with the werewolf story and the Lover's Vow from Tales. The werewolf story is probably my next favorite, maybe in third or fourth place. That was really good. I didn't see that coming either. Very cool stuff. All right, let's go to our next category. Next category is the scariest threat. The absolute scariest threat to any of the stories in either of these movies. Eric, what do you think?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say, as people might think this sounds lame, I'm gonna go with the cat from hell from Tales, because hear me out. Because first off,
that's great.
Think about it. You cannot kill this thing no matter what. You know what I mean? You can find a way somehow, some way to pretty much take out any other threat, whether it's a serial killer, Sam could be injured, possibly take out a gargoyle, and so on and so forth. Werewolves, you can kill that. You don't, to my knowledge, there's no way to kill this cat. It will not stop. You know what I mean? Until it gets what it wants, and then you get that false sense of security. It's just a lovable kitty cat until shit hits the fan. So I'm going with that.
All right. Okay, Coriander, how about you?
Okay, so to me, the scariest threat is the gargoyle, because not only did it take my partner, but it took my children. So, yeah, to me, that's a scarier threat.
Okay, all
Good
right.
reasoning. Yeah.
And real quick too, in the chat, and thank you, Val. Val's got the link in the chat for our new page that we have set up for the Night Watch Zone, and all of you folks that are here hanging out with us, channel members, friends, and so forth. It's called Escape to Horror on Facebook, and it's a place where for all of you guys, we can have a little bit of easier communication, especially for channel members and so forth. A lot of times it's hard for people to check the community page and so forth, but we've got a lot of cool stuff over there so far. So if you are not a member and you'd like to be, hit that link that Val put in the live chat and you can join. Philip saying favorite story is the Trick or Treat with the werewolves. All right. Let's see. We got Bobby in the chat saying the bus massacre scene reminded me of the nightmare bus scene in Freddy's Revenge. Yeah, very cool scene cinematography wise. I agree. It was
that is quite the picture.
Yeah. Wayne saying Anna Paquin and the girls in Trick or Treat. Let's see. Brandon saying, I mean, Sam is a threat, but he's too cute as well. I'm gonna hop on Eric's answer and say the cat from hell. There you go. Love it. For me, this was a real challenge, man, because if you're in these situations, what would be the scariest threat, man? And the cat from hell, definitely that's crazy, man. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know, man. The werewolves, that was just, that was crazy, man. I mean, you're in a situation where you're basically in the middle of the pack of werewolves, and like they're real. It's like that would suck. So I think I'm gonna go with that one from Trick or Treat. But the Cat from Hell, you almost got me with that one, Eric, because I was like, you're right. You can't kill the thing.
Nope.
Even a hitman couldn't kill him. It was
Exactly.
too funny. Yeah, too funny. All right, next up, the special effects. The special effects between the two movies. What would you like to give the point to, Eric?
Both are really good.
I agree.
Both are really, really good. I'm gonna slightly give it to Tails. I love the werewolf transformations. I love how they're actually ripping off the skin.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But what's going to give it to me for Tails is I love the makeup effects of the mummy. He looks cool. He looks dry. He looks rotted. Coriander brought up the scene where the cat goes down David Johansen's throat. That's rough to look at,
it is.
in a good way for when it comes to special effects. And I just love the look of that gargoyle in the final chapter of this, the three stories. It looks vicious. The lips might not sync up, but I can overlook it just because how cool it looks.
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes, you can overlook those types of things because of just the overall artistry, of the piece. And you got to give them credit. And again, man, this was, it's 1990, but, you definitely could feel that 80s artistry and vibe that they were working with, which again, I think that was like the golden era of effects, practical stuff, man. And it's
sorely missed.
It's too bad we don't have that anymore. Well, at least not to that level,
right?
Coriander, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I love my practical effects, so I'm totally going with Tails.
All right. Wow. Let's see what we have in the chat. And Philip, hope you feel better. And catch you later. Yeah. Paul is going with Trick or Treat. The 2000s were better for CGI. Wayne going with Trick or Treat, advantage from being more recent advancements in technology. Okay. Brandon saying both films are excellent in effects. That werewolf scene is hard to top, though. Practical werewolf effects are the way to go. Okay. Elm Street saying I'm a sucker for the 80s. Tails for me. Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's tough, man, because there was a lot of great stuff in both movies. Obviously, like you were saying too, Eric, the gargoyle scene is just fantastic. The transformation that Radon Chung went through was just like, wow, man. Even to this day, it looks real good. In Trick or Treat, though, there was some great stuff. Sam was great, when he took the bag off, when his hand got chopped off, stuff like that. The werewolf scene obviously had some really cool stuff in it as well. Hell, man, that scene had better effects than some full-length feature movies with werewolves. And I'm looking at you, the Wolf Man. But I'm just saying, like those effects, I mean, they were done right, it was a combination of practical and CGI. That being said, this is tough, man. This actually is a very tough category for me as well. That being said, I think I probably have to edge it out to Tales from the Darkside, man. And the one thing I didn't talk about, the Cat from Hell had some good stuff in it, as far as especially that last scene. But the Mummy, the Mummy was great. It really, seriously, it looked like a damn mummy. The way it moved, every time it moved, if you watch it closely, you could see dust coming off of it and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, they really paid attention to a lot of detail for the Mummy.
It was the Mummy was nice because it wasn't just a guy in bandages. You know what I mean? Because they made the choice where, Buscemi was cutting off the bandages, so you got to see the dry rot and stuff of the face.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I liked about it.
Yeah. I mean, it just, if you think about that in and of itself, that was just fantastic stuff, man. It really was. Mary saying Tales from the Dark Side had way better special effects to me, but I still enjoy Trick or Treat too. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Brian is going with Tales from the Dark Side. All right. Wow, man. Tales from the Dark Side. If you guys are fans of Trick or Treat, you might want to help out because wow. Horror Cat saying the cat scene from Tales. There you go. That's crazy. I love it. Okay. Our next category. Okay. This is going to be fun. The 2 least favorite stories from either movie. Again, it could be one apiece or it could be 2 from the same movie. Okay, so give it some time to think about it. Okay, but your 2 least favorite stories. And for you guys in the chat, we'd love to see what your choices are. And if you've only seen one of the movies, then just let us know maybe what your least favorite story is.
This sucks because what if you don't?
I mean, you just got to have them in your head ranked, and even if it's let me explain.
Doesn't mean
this
you
to
don't
okay?
like. It doesn't mean you
Yes.
don't like the story. It's
Exactly.
just like if you're ranking them.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean that you hate them or that they suck. It just would be the 2 at the bottom. That's all that would mean.
Oh man. Okay, well, for sure I'm gonna do the werewolf story from Trick or Treat because, like I said, I don't like how they use Dylan Baker. I don't. I'm upset about that. Oh, we gotta pick 2 of them. That's tough.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know what? Because I like everything else so much, I'm gonna go with the opening of Trick or Treat, where the lady is taking down the Halloween decorations and stuff like that. And the main reason why they're all good. I mean, this one was really, there's only one story I don't really care for, and that's the werewolf in both films. What's making me choose this opening story from Trick or Treat is it's scary. It's got some good jump scares. I just don't like, I guess, how she looks with the lollipop in her face. You know what I mean? That's just kind of, after all the scary stuff, you know, him jumping and attacking her and scaring the kids and stuff like that. It's just kind of that's it. You know what I mean? When we see what she looks like, it's too cartoony for me. So
okay.
That's twisting my arm, dude.
Wow.
But
all right.
That one was rough. Good luck, Coriander.
That was rough. Okay,
No.
so Coriander. Well, you've had all this time to think about it. So what would be
it's funny
your
because
2 least favorite?
Yeah, I was obviously gonna pick 2 from Trick or Treat also, and those would be the only 2 to pick. So, I mean, the werewolf one, it was kind of like, okay, they're walking in the street, they're sitting on a bench, supposed vampire, maybe. I don't know, it was just kind of boring. It wasn't that exciting.
Okay.
And
all right.
Yeah. In the beginning, I mean, it drew you in, but I mean, yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good twist, but
Yeah,
so
but
you got 2.
It is, but I can't. I enjoyed all the ones from Tales from the Dark Side
more.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
That's just how it's got to be.
Okay. Brandon saying my 2 least favorite, the Lover's Vow and the Vampire Tale in Trick or Treat. It ties into the werewolf story, but prior to that, I didn't care that much for it. Well said. Well said. Let's see. Yeah, Lover's Vow. I got that one. Horror Cat saying the vampire one's probably the weakest. Okay. All right. And I think I'm caught up to these guys in the chat. For me, this was definitely challenging, but I'm gonna agree with the vampire aspect of the werewolf part, because it kind of flows into the other thing. But to me, that was a weak story. And then I I gotta go with the Cat from Hell, man. I mean, it's got good stuff in it, but I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's definitely, in Tales from the Dark Side, it's easily my least favorite. Okay.
Yeah. The Hitman, he was going through hell, and that cat was kicking his ass. How could you not enjoy it? It was great.
because man, it was
Well, that's
a
too
whack.
bad.
It was a killer cat. I was like, okay, all right.
Mhm.
Mr. Halston. Okay.
I
All
love
right.
William Hickey.
He's so great, man. Hey, look, as soon as he started talking, we were watching the movie, and as soon as he started talking, Coriander, what did you say? You said, "Oh, I know who that is," or something like that. You know, we didn't even see him. You just heard him talk at first, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
when that,
I can.
yeah, his
Yeah,
voice is very
he
distinct.
definitely has. He does. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and he's been in some great movies.
Oh,
So
he was so great, so much
yeah.
charisma and charm. And Brandon in the chat
Yep.
said, "The
The blessing.
blessing." Shout out
Yeah.
to Christmas Vacation.
Yep.
All
I
right.
also love him in Nightmare Before Christmas as the mad scientist.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was great. I mean, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong.
Mhm.
I loved him in that. I loved them both in that tale. But just
Mhm.
overall, when I think about it, I'm just like, okay, well, that's it's not at the same level as Lot 249 or Lover's Love
Right.
for me. All right. So next up, the wraparound story. The wraparound story, Eric. So what do you think?
I already said how much I love it. I'm going with Tails because of just the chemistry and just how nonchalant Deborah Harry is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, like it's got some little bit of comedy that just sneaks up on you. Like I said, I love how she's trying to figure out how long to keep them in the oven, and she's doing math in her head. And then Matthew Lawrence, he says whatever the answer is, and then he just goes, "Why?" You know what I mean? He doesn't realize what's going on, and then it's again the whole nonchalant and fun stuff. And if we're also talking about the way it ends, I won't get too into that just in case. It's a lot of fun, and I'll leave it at that because I'm sure we'll talk about a finale later. So, but
Okay.
I think the chemistry between the two is what sells it for me.
Yeah, I agree. Coriander, how about you?
I mean, yeah, I have to go with Tales from the Dark Side. I just like the flow of it, and how the story just works. Like Eric said, from A, B, C to D, all the way down to whatever. So yeah, man. There you go.
Okay. All right. We got Paula going with Tales from the Dark Side. We've got Troy saying the wraparound is Tales. Quote, don't you just love happy endings? Yeah, and that was really cool too. It really was. Brandon saying Trick or Treat, to my knowledge, doesn't have a singular wraparound story until the end shot. I'm going with Tales here. Yeah, absolutely. And like Eric said in the very beginning, it's the way that they tell the story. It's out of sequence in a way. I mean, Sam is kind of the wraparound character, and we do follow his adventure and his tale with Mr. Krieg. So it's a lot more jumbled. And this goes into what I'm going to say from my point. And because of that, it's got to go to Tales from the Dark Side, because I think not only is that wraparound story really well done from the actors, but I think it's such a cool setup, man. It's very much like The Princess Bride. It's like, we're going to tell a story and here it is.
Good though. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. And to me, here's the other thing about it too. And you guys, especially in the chat, you can let us know what you think. I mean, you may not have seen Tales from the Dark Side, or you may not have seen it in a long time, but obviously you're getting a sense of what it is through our discussion. But here's the other thing too. Tales from the Dark Side came out in 1990. All right, so that was a long time ago. But to me, when I watched the movie, the setup for it is so intriguing. It pulls you right in, right? This is a movie, and don't get me wrong, I love Trick or Treat as well, but again, the wraparound for Trick or Treat is like a mishmash quite a bit. I mean, Sam is the wraparound, but Tales from the Dark Side, the way it's set up, this is a movie that you could watch, 60, 70 years from now, and it's still going to pull you in, because it's got a story that is just, it's Hansel and Gretel. I mean, it's a timeless story, a timeless archetypes, little kid, innocent little kid, a witch. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? So I got to go with Tales from the Dark Side on this one.
Another thing I like about its wraparound story is how after every singular story, we cut back to them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I love how it's like this ongoing joke. Deborah Harry just wants to hear a love story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like right before what was it, Cat from Hell? It's like, oh, let me read you this next story. Is it a love story? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Well, not really, but you know, just stuff like that. So,
Yeah. And again, anytime you have a movie with a kid, doesn't matter what genre, but definitely with horror, you can get into trouble if the child actor can't pull it off. And Matthew was able to pull that off.
Yeah,
you know,
he was
innocent, he was charming, and he had a little bit of that comedic edge, you know, that wit about him. So he kept it going as well. Real quick, let's see. Troy saying, a hot take, Tales is greater than both Creep shows. Ooh, wow. Ah, man. Wow. And Tales from the Crypt. I don't know, man. Listen, we're gonna, as we always do, we're going to kind of take a look at our episodes and where we're gonna go from here. But we definitely have talked about Creep Show. So I'm just saying, you never know, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Let's see. Wayne saying, where is Sir James when we need him? Well, you guys can't rely on Sir James all the time, man.
I think James has spent a lot. He deserves a lot of time off sometimes too.
Does,
you know what
man.
I mean?
He can't be the only one to help support the channel like that. Oh my god. All right. Next category, guys. And Trick or Treat is way behind him. I'm just gonna say that. Eric, your two favorite characters from both of these movies. So again, it could be one from each, it could be two from the same movie.
Okay, I'm going to finally show some love to Trick or Treat. My two favorite characters are both from Trick or Treat. I'm going to go with Sam. I'm going to go with Sam because not just the fact he's just I love his look. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But he's dangerous. He is this. We don't know what he is. Is he like this mythological spirit of Halloween that's only attacking you because you aren't following air quotes the rules? You know, and he has a lot of the evil stuff you hear about it. You know, with the glass and the razors and the candy. So he goes that route. And I love the look of him when he gets unmasked. He is terrifying. And I'm gonna go with Dylan Baker. Non-vampire and werewolf story. Okay,
I like that. Non-vampire.
I have to be specific because I just love this actor. Even when he's in the Spider-Man movies, you know what I mean? He never turns into the lizard, but he's always so good. He's got so much charisma in this. I love how he's just shrugging off the fact that Brian Cox catches him burying a body. Oh, it's just I got a problem with my septic tank. You know what I mean? And just stuff like that. Hey, he's yelling at his son, go watch Charlie Brown. I'll be up there in a little bit. So he is just so good in such he's in over his head type of thing. He he's done this 100 times with that reveal at the end with the head. And when he poisons the kid on the porch, he's just watching him. You know what I mean? And he's okay, hurry up, kid. We got to get going. So it just I love Dylan in this movie. So I can't lie, I got to give it to him too.
All right. Very cool. And for you guys in the chat, let us know who your two favorite characters are from these films. Your top two. So again, it could be one apiece or two from the same movie. Coriander, how about you? Who are your two favorite characters?
Well, definitely the cat is one.
Okay.
And
exactly. I love that.
And this is tough, man.
Well, do you need me to run down some of them so you can remember them? Or?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the boy on the bus that was like the vampire. He's the one who kind of like
wrong way.
What?
The one who was saying wrong way.
Yes.
He was doing the calculations and
yes, he knew something was off out of all those, poor kids. And yeah, I kind of felt bad for him. Well, I felt more for this kid than the other ones. So yeah,
cool. That's a really good point. I totally agree with you. He really did stand out, and I felt bad for him too.
He tried to do the right thing and try to save them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tried to save everybody. So good point.
And it was like I said, that's why I said that the school bus massacre was one of my favorite stories because
it is.
It was
Good.
so tragic too.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
those kids, they were victims, and at that point, you thought he might have been able. Well, I didn't really think it because I knew there was going to be a tragedy, but he was trying to save them, and he just drove the bus
Mhm.
over the edge, and of course they died, but the bus driver didn't.
Mhm.
And it's like it was so tragic, and it was told as a ghost story, to scare Rhonda and all that type of stuff. So that was a really strong story, in my personal opinion. It's
Mm.
very, very good. But great point, Coriander. The guy, or the kid, I should say, in the Dracula mask was, yeah, he was very, very cool. All right, now real quick in the chat before I give mine, Ginger Ninja saying, making me want to rewatch Trick or Treat right now. It's a good
Mhm.
one. Both of these, yeah. Troy's going with Dylan Baker and James Remar. Brandon's going with Sam and Rhonda from Trick or Treat. Loved her enthusiasm for the holiday, and she doesn't take any shit from bullies. Yeah, it
Right.
was cool. Like, she was a
Mhm.
good setup character because she obviously was very knowledgeable about the
Mhm.
holiday, and
Mhm.
then very innocent, and she got bullied and scared shitless, and then she was able to turn the tables. So I thought that was a really good story.
That look she gives him when she pushes that button and she's basically, saying adios, that's a fist pump moment. You know what I mean?
It is. It was a victory, man. And
Mhm.
look, hey, in the chat, we got our brother Steven from Craven Something Scary
Hey,
saying,
Steven.
Yay.
hey, he's going with Clovis's brother. Hey guys, the cat
Nice.
from hell. I love it.
That's
I
right.
love it. Steven, you're all right, man. Let's look. We haven't gotten a chance to do this tonight, but let's play a super chat clip for you, Steven, because you're all right, man. Here we go.
You've got nothing at all.
No, I don't think so. No. No. Hey.
Wow.
The look on Eric's face. That was classic, Eric. Dude, you were like, what?
I always try to prepare myself, but no, what's the point?
That's right. May is keeping track of everything here. We really appreciate that, May, still hanging in there with
Sweet.
us. Not leaving the shift. 43 likes. Let's go. We appreciate it.
Nice.
Seriously. Thank you so much. Bobby saying, I still can't get over all those parents sacrificing their children because they were special needs. I know. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And Steven says, wow. There we go. All right. So let me get to my two favorite characters. I love so many characters in these films. I really, really do. Shout out to Dylan Baker, like you were saying, pre-vampire. I was so invested in what he was doing as this creepy neighbor burying bodies in his backyard. Very cool stuff. I really wish they could have gone at least another 5 minutes on that story, but I get it. That was the point of how they were doing things with Trick or Treat, phasing from one thing to another. Shout out to Steve Buscemi, who always delivers. I don't care what he's doing, he always delivers. I definitely enjoyed Lot 249. A lot of it was because of him. But that being said, and I really enjoyed James Remar and Rae Dong Chun. She was great, and their chemistry together. It was creepy. Like, she was the type of character, if you watch that story, you're wondering what's up with her. She just seems so intense. And of course, when you know what's going to happen and you watch it again, there were little clues. Like every time he was about to give away the secret, she had this like stone cold look on her face, almost like, are you about to break your vow?
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you watch that story, because obviously we watch it, and then I a lot of times rewatch these movies to prep for the episode. So when I was watching that scene, I was just really paying attention to how she was zeroed in every time there was a possibility that he was going to tell what happened that night. That being said, as I'm ranting, I got to go with my boy Sam from Trick or Treat. I really enjoy just what he represents. Like you said, Eric, the practical, when he's unmasked. And it's a great example of a character that has become very famous off of the strength of this one movie. There was supposed to be a sequel. There's been rumors forever that they're going to do a sequel, but it's a great example of a horror character that to me could be an icon, could
Mhm.
have,
No,
could
no, come on.
let me fat ash, could have multiple movies
Yeah.
and you know, and have some great things going on, but it just never happened. And and it's so
Thank
crazy
God.
because we have a lot of franchises that are beaten into the ground.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, you know, especially back in the day, direct to video and stuff like that. I'm looking at you, Hellraiser. But here was an example of a character that really could have had some great, you know, other movies, at least a trilogy, and we never got it. So I'm picking Sam, and I gotta go with Debbie Harry. You know, again, that
Good
wraparound
choice.
story is fantastic. And for me, growing up, obviously being a fan of Blondie and seeing her in these horror movies, and specifically this one, it was kind of like, wow, she's really good in this role. You know, there was a little bit of sinister underneath of that, you know, you know, housemaker type of facade that she had. So I really enjoyed her character in Tales from the Dark Side, and it was a great setup for the whole movie, all throughout, from the beginning all the way to the end when she gets her just desserts. So, all right, that was a fun category. Let's see. Bobby is saying Rhonda was my favorite character. Mary saying this makes me want to rewatch both movies, a horror double whammy. Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Nice.
This is a
Yeah.
good double feature. It really
Yeah,
is.
I watched them both today, and they flow really well into each other.
They do. Anthologies are awesome, man. They really, really are. And like I said, I'd love to see more of them. Val saying Clovis is the king of the kitties. That's right. That's right.
Aw.
Troy saying, Val, I think the kitty from Cat's Eye is my number one. Clovis is number 2 by a whisker. There you are. There you are. Mary saying that she's a big fan of Steven's channel. Definitely an awesome kind of guy. Enjoy your channel very much. Absolutely.
He's a good dude.
He is. He's a brother. He's a great friend and a great content creator. Yes, indeed. Paul is saying Anna Paquin and Christian Slater. There you go.
Christian was fun.
He was. You know, and to be quite honest, and I haven't spoken about him, but he was great in Lot 249 as well. I love.
You know what I liked about
what
I liked about his character is he was actually friends with Bellingham. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You could tell they had if they weren't like buddies or whatever, you know, they had a mutual respect. You know what I mean? So I liked that about him.
Agreed. Yeah, he was good. He was really good. Elm Street saying stunning performance by Ray Don Chung. I didn't see it coming. Me neither, man. I didn't see that, bro. It kind of broke my heart, man, because you were so invested in James Remar. You know what I'm saying? Like, he finally got success, the love of his life, kids, you know, his agent stopped being an asshole. It's like, man, he's on top of the world. And yeah, that was definitely a good one. And Steven, absolutely, man. Giving thanks to Mary. She's awesome. She's really awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brandon saying, as much as I want to, I cannot watch Trick or Treat on any other day outside of Halloween night. Wow. All right. That's commitment. That's commitment. David's in the chat. What's going on, David? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying really enjoying the show, watching at the gym. All right. Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So we're almost at the end, guys. A couple more categories. And yeah, Trick or Treat is way behind.
Which surprises me.
I am too, man. I am
very surprised.
And I know a couple people that aren't here that are huge Trick or Treat fans, and I'm just wondering if this would be a lot different. It probably would be, but it just goes to show you never know. When we go live, it's all, there's no safety net, bro. Next category, the 2 best kills in these movies. Again, it could be 1 apiece or it could be 2 from the same.
Okay. First one that popped into my mind is Julianne Moore's boyfriend in Tales from the Dark Side. I like the buildup of seeing the mummy. You know, that I love that one shot of where he's walking, where the boyfriend's walking around. You just see the mummy against the book straightening the coat hanger. And it's a good nod to what Bellingham says. It's painful. We have to imagine what it looks like. You know what I mean? Because we only see the boyfriend's feet. So that's a good one. Second kill. I'm gonna go with, even though it's off screen, Trick or Treat and Brian Cox getting torn apart by the children.
Ooh.
Because it is, I love how their spirits got their revenge.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if you know the story, it wasn't an accident. He was paid to do this. It shouldn't have happened, and then he finally got what he deserved. So, got to go with that.
All right. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Definitely the cat kill. That
I
was
knew
great.
that was coming.
Okay.
Good one.
All right.
And oh man. Um the second kill, I don't know. Can I think about it and you do your two?
Okay, yeah. So one of them is the cat kill.
Yes.
Okay, and you're thinking about the other one. For me, I think that this is really okay. This is a challenging one because there's some really good kills in the movie, and actually, you guys have named some great ones, right? But I gotta admit, man, to me, I gotta go with Lover's Vow. Now, I'm specifically speaking about the end, just because of the weight of what happens, because it's just such a gut punch. You didn't see it coming, and then even when she transformed,
She didn't
I
want to
was
do
like,
it.
I was like, is she gonna do it? Because there's children, right? So I didn't even know for sure when I first saw the movie. But also that first kill that she does, where she chops off the guy's head, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
all right. So Lover's Vow gets one vote for me. And my second has to be the werewolf kills, man. Like, people were gutted, torn apart, and I'm like, holy crap. And even though they didn't show everything that happened to Dylan Baker, I was just like, bro, he is toast. We're talking Thanksgiving dinner, man. So I'm going one apiece: the werewolf kill in Trick or Treat, and also Lover's Vow. Okay. All right. So Coriander, how about your second one?
Okay. I got it. So it's the one where that dude there behind Anna kills that kid in, like, is it whatever when you first introduced with the candy?
Yeah.
And then he's
yeah.
Yes. And then he buries him and his neighbor and all that. So yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. Very, very cool. In the chat, Brandon saying the hitman from The Cat from Hell and Charlie's poisoning and beheading from Trick or Treat. All right. Troy saying surprised too. I didn't know Tails had that much love still. Tails is pulling a Buster Douglas upset here. Right? I did not see this coming. I really didn't. Brandon saying, I wish I could send super chats for Trick or Treat, but I'm unfortunately broke at the moment. Hey man, I definitely understand. But if anyone else wants to help, this is the time. We've got two more categories before the end. Let's see. Wayne saying best kills, Trick or Treat, Anna Paquin, James Remar being killed in Lover's Vow. Very, very cool. Elm Street saying, I agree on both, Night. Yeah, man. I just think that, there was so much weight for Lover's Vow, and not even including that first kill that happens, which was fantastic with the beheading. And then, of course, the werewolves, bro. I mean, it's like, they had a feast in the woods, man. It was crazy stuff, man. Absolutely crazy. All right. That was really, really good. We went right down the middle for this category. Very cool. All right. Next up, the finale. So, Eric, what do you think, man?
So I'm going with the finale with Deborah Harry and Matthew Lawrence. And then there's also, we find out who Brian Cox is, and then the spirits of the children come, right?
That's right.
All right. As much as I love Deborah Harry, Matthew Lawrence, I cannot deny the fact that I enjoy Trick or Treat more. And here's why. Because like I just said with why I picked the kill, I'm a sucker for, these children getting the revenge on the guy who did this to him. And one thing that I loved, I told you, Night, my daughter was watching Trick or Treat with me, and she's 11. And, at that age, they always want to know, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You just tell them to shut up and watch the movie. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So what was really cool was she came in, I don't know, she was maybe a half hour late. but she knew she was there for the bus story. And when she saw that picture in the fire, her eyes got so big and she pointed and she said, "He's the bus driver." And that's like, yes. So pay attention to the trick-or-treater. So that reveal was done well because it was just one brief shot. And then when they show up and then the way they look is so good. I'm talking about the spirits of the children. They're all nasty and covered in muck. And then even though we don't see it on screen, we get to hear it. I love it. So got to go with that. Tails is good. Trick or Treat's better for me.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, Eric, you again said it pretty good. The ending, I enjoyed the ending of Tales from the Dark Side. The kid gets away, so yay for him.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that finale, that was good. So yeah.
All right. And I have to agree. I have to absolutely agree with both of you guys. I think that obviously the kid getting away, there was a charm to it. There's a whimsical charm, just like at the end when he says, "Don't you love a happy ending?" It is kind of like a wink and a nod to the audience. We kind of had this feeling that he would find a way to outsmart the witch. And it was cool the way it happened, but I have to agree, man. Brian Cox finally getting his comeuppance with these kids, these poor kids, man. And again, I think that was a great way to go because to me, that was, and again, I said it earlier, that was the strongest story from Trick or Treat in general. Now, I did love Brian Cox and Sam, because there was some really good moments in that and Sam's reveal and all that. But as far as just overall storytelling, I think that the School Bus Massacre was great from beginning all the way to the end. So to have this as the finale of the movie and the spirits of the kids finally getting their revenge, man, that was awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Both these movies had great finales, but I gotta say, Trick or Treat nailed it. Like, as strong as Tales from the Dark Side started, which I think it was the stronger opening, I think Trick or Treat was able to pull it off at the end for the stronger ending or finale. So great stuff. Great stuff. All right, guys. You knew we had to get here, and this will be the final category. So again, if you guys are fans of Trick or Treat, this is the time to help give it some points by sending in a super chat. Even if it's $1, you might want to send it in now. Once we're done this category, then we can't take more points for it, but it also helps to support the channel, and we'd appreciate it. So Eric, as always, we got to make a choice, man. We got to choose between these two films. Which film do you give the point to?
I haven't hidden my cards tonight. I'm definitely going Tales from the Dark Side. I like Trick or Treat a lot. It's a lot of fun. But I think it might have been Jamie or someone else who really loves this movie. They say that they really like to watch it on Halloween. And that does help. You know what I mean? It's like watching The Thing. You don't really want to watch The Thing in summertime. You know what I mean? You kind of want to watch Trick or Treat around Halloween, like September, November, whatever. I can watch Tales from the Dark Side any time of the year and still enjoy it. You know what I mean? From beginning to end, even though I picked Trick or Treat over it, I think the ending is a lot of fun. The breaking the fourth wall, how he's saying he's throwing the marbles, that type of fourth wall breaking. It's a lot of fun, great characters, great effects, very spooky stuff. So Tales from the Dark Side.
All right. Okay. All right. And real quick too, as we're going through this, oh wow, man. Brandon coming in, he's sending in $1 for a point for Trick or Treat. Hey man, I really appreciate that. And I know, let me just say something. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on, man. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. Of course, we always appreciate all the support you give. And I know that's a big thing for you to have done. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. That was very, very kind of you. And I don't want to belittle that at all. So thank you so much for helping to support the channel. It helps. And let's do this again so we can get that look from Eric. Here we go.
You've got nothing at all.
No. I don't think so. No. No. Hey.
Do it slowly, day by day. You're so funny. You are.
Eric, the look on your face, bro. I wish I could record that. That is great. Thank you for that, man. You make it fun for me, man.
Money well spent.
Brandon, seriously, thank you so much.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It was very kind of you, man. And I know that you got things going on, but we appreciate you doing that. It's such a big gesture. Thank you so much, man. So we do put that point to Trick or Treat. We know that is Brandon's movie. He loves it, justifiably so. So a point to Trick or Treat. And we've got Troy coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. He said, for Tails, time for a ref stoppage. Oh, wow, man. Tails for the dark
Sam's
side.
Going
man.
the distance.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that is crazy. Thank you so much, Troy. We appreciate that. It really helps us out, too. All right. So we're still on this final category. Coriander, who are you going with?
I am going to go with Tales from the Dark Side because Trick or Treat, I really enjoyed just one of the tales, and with Tales from the Dark Side, I enjoyed it from start to finish. So,
okay, all right. And Paula is also going with Tales from the Dark Side. Brandon saying, "You're welcome, Night. I do love and try to support my brothers and sisters in horror." We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. And we know that, a lot of people have different things going on. We understand that. But thank you so much. And even just being here, we appreciate that as well. Being here with us from the beginning of the stream till the end. And that really makes a difference too. And we take note of those things as well. So thanks.
I want to jump on that just real quick, Night. I'm a guest on this every Tuesday night, and the fact that people are actually giving their hard-earned money to show appreciation for something that we do, you know what I mean? It means a lot to me. I mean, don't take this wrong when I say that it's not my channel, you know what I mean? I don't see any of that stuff. But the fact that people, and I know how hard it is. Trust me, I know how hard it is. But the fact that people are willing to pay their hard-earned money because they're entertained by something that we do, and not just me in general, Mondays, Fridays, anything like that. It actually means a lot to me as well, because I know how hard it is, and you guys don't have to do it, but the fact that you do, it just means a lot. So I want to say thanks as well.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I absolutely agree. And the fact that, people do engage like that, if they're able to, and again, some people can't, that's absolutely fine. I definitely understand how that is myself. But for people that are able to do it, it's just amazing, because it shows how much they're, like you said, entertained, or they have fun, or they enjoy this community. I mean, the truth of the matter is, and Eric, you know that because you've been with us from the very beginning, even on the old channel. I mean, we stream anywhere from 2 to 5 times every single week. We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary of this channel, which is 4 years in total on YouTube. And there's only been a couple times we've even taken a week off. So for people that enjoy it enough so that we can continue to do it, and we know that we can have that engagement and build a community, it's a crazy thing, man. But we talk about this all the time, is that we enjoy doing this so much and bringing people together, that it's like a family. When I say that, I truly mean it. And like I've told you many times, and you're the best, but I love it when you say you're a guest. And I know you look at it that way, but like I said, bro, you're family, and we definitely are so happy that you're able to take your time out from your life, from the kids, from the family, from work, from your own channel, other collaborations that you do, and you spend time with us every week watching 2 movies that you probably wouldn't have watched otherwise, and then coming on here for an hour and a half on average and hanging out with us in this community. We appreciate that, bro. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick too, we got Elm Street, who came in with a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, I love Tales, but I'm gonna go with Trick or Treat on this one. Both are a win though. Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Flipping it.
Could be there. Well, who knows, man? 5 points to Trick or Treat.
Wow.
All right. Wow, very very cool. Elm Street, thank you so much as well. We
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Um, and Wayne, we appreciate you being here. Definitely, I get it. Bills to pay, no doubt at
Don't worry,
all.
dude.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. And Brandon, you're all right. Thanking people for their support. Very, very cool. Um, yeah, and everyone is here awesome. Everyone here is awesome, man. Seriously. Troy saying I only drop supers here and with the sledges. It's not just for the awesome panels, but for all the great people in the chat as well. Much love to all. Absolutely, man.
Well
That's
said.
nice.
And we appreciate that too, because
Yeah.
that's part of it as well. It helps when you have a channel, and I know that Ken and Ashley would say the same thing, and I know Steven would as well, and other content creators, at least that I'm good friends with. You know, when you have people that come to your live chats, you know, it is a community, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of people that enjoy hanging out with each other, you know, and they may not be able to do that if there isn't a stream. You know what I'm saying? So Troy, that's a really great point, is that it's also, you know, not just for the panel, but also for the community that joins in the live chat. So great point, man. You
Yeah.
guys are on the money. Seriously. Very, very cool stuff. All right. And yes, Eric does have a great channel too. Like I said, guys, if you are not subscribed to Eric's channel, you need to do so ASAP. He's just awesome. And like I always say, if you guys have been around long enough and you see people that are with us on the panels regularly, then you should know that we really are really big fans and friends, and it's a family thing. So definitely go and support Eric, no doubt.
I try. Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. For me, this choice is tough. I do love both of these movies. They're both great anthologies, and I think they do different things, and they do them well. But if I
Mhm.
have to choose one, there is no lying. There's never been any lying here. I have to give that point to Tales from the Dark Side. And just with Lot 249 and Lover's Vow alone, even if those were the only two stories with the wraparound, I still think it's just awesome. It really,
Mhm.
really is. It just has this charm to it, the way it's put together. And yeah, I'm invested, man. I'm invested. Okay, guys. So we're gonna tally up the points. Eric, Coriander, I'll have you guys do a quick recap, and then we will announce the winner.
I was real excited when Knight sent me this text. This is the one that we were doing. So Coriander, you picked a really good one because what I was saying here, I don't know if I said it here in the chat or offline when we weren't live yet. Is it seems like no one talks about Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, anymore. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Trick or Treat has a huge cult following. You know what I mean? Mainly for Sam, but you know it's got some fun stuff to it, but it's no one talks about Tales. And that kind of disappoints me because of how good it is. I don't know if they watched it once and forgot about it or they just never gave it a chance. So I do hope, regardless of who wins, I think I know who's going to do it, but I do hope that people go search out Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, because it is so good. It's so much fun. And depending on when you watch it, like age wise, like I said, I didn't when I was younger and I watched it, I didn't give a crap about Lover's Vow because I didn't, I was younger. I wanted the blood and the guts and and stuff like that. But your tastes change when you get older, and I grew to love and appreciate Lover's Vow, and then the impact that ending with the children, you know, it hits you differently. So, both great movies, but it's nice to see Tales from the Dark Side now getting some love.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy Tales from the Dark Side also. I mean, I don't mind Trick or Treat, but
Mhm.
I really did enjoy just the bus segment. Um, so yeah, I mean, Tales from the Dark Side, that I enjoyed all the stories, the people who were in it, and yeah, I mean, I really can't complain about it. So yeah, it's a great movie. So
Well said. Well said. And Brandon saying, I will say, Tales is one of the better anthologies. I would put it right up there with Creep Show. All right. All right. Troy saying Lover's Vow has been one of my favorite entries of any anthology since I was like 10. Love it to death. Yeah. All right. Brandon saying Trick or Treat is a masterpiece of a film. In my opinion, it's mainly my love for Halloween, but it's so good. All right. Very, very cool. So let's get down to brass tacks. As I usually say, we have a score of 24, a final score, and that includes the super chats. A final score of 24 to 37.
Wow.
And the winner is Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. So it really came down to there were so many categories where it swept, and I did not think it was going to be that lopsided. I really didn't. But when you go category by category, and we also had categories where we would pick 2 favorite stories, or 2 favorite characters, or 2 best kills, and Tales from the Dark Side really leveraged that as well. The panel vote was obviously skewed to Tales from the Dark Side, and of course, we did have a couple super chats for Trick or Treat that helped a little bit. But yeah, man, this was a massive victory for the old school.
Regardless of me being happy that Tails won because it's my preference, I did not expect, honestly, because I know the huge following that Trick or Treat has, I did not expect it to win.
Yeah, I know. I was really wondering if it would too. And again, sometimes different things happen. Ginger Ninjas and Debbie Harry for the win. That's right.
She definitely helps.
That's right. Troy saying a clear win, but that it's actually much closer than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I was very surprised too. And who knows? It might have gone a little bit differently if other things had gone different ways. But I don't know how Kill would have voted, to be honest with you. I think that, he enjoys both. But I don't know if that would have made a difference per se. I think he would have been kind of down the middle. But it is what it is. You go live, there's no net, and here we are. So Tales from the Dark Side wins tonight in Battle World, guys.
And I will say that win-loss records, I told you, you said you were okay with this. This victory goes to Stephen King because he wrote Cat from Hell. He wrote some of the screenplay, and this is unofficially, air quotes, known as the third Creep Show. So we're going to give the point to him when it comes to the records.
Yes, that's cool. Yes. So Stephen King gets another win. And who knows, down the road, things might happen. We'll see.
He's moving up the ranking now.
He really is. Who would have thought? Well, for you guys in the chat, we appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us for the duration of the episode. That means a lot. I just wanted to take the time to say that because, we've had a lot of different things going on in the YouTube world, and also with a lot of the behind the scenes, how YouTube handles live streams. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and it really makes a difference on whether a live stream is even visible outside of outside of your community. If you have people that watch a certain percentage of a live stream and then they, let's say, click out or whatever, YouTube does new thing. They're doing new things. They've never favored live streams, but it seems like they're getting even more critical. So it's a real challenge, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We enjoy doing these Tuesday night streams. It's a blast. So definitely, let me also just say as an announcement, tomorrow morning, shout out to all you 80s guys that enjoy the 80s. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Barb. Tomorrow morning, we will have premiering our top 5 of 1983. It's been a long time in the works. It has taken me weeks and weeks and weeks to edit it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I think it's going to be premiering tomorrow at 11 a.m. So definitely on the channel. I think Val said it earlier. As always, when we have stuff that is upcoming, please give it a like, and hopefully if you can catch it when it's happening, but if not, please check out the replay. And then on Friday night, we're going to be coming back. We're back on Friday nights, at least for the time being, with our new series, Watchers Live, and we're going to have a great conversation. It's going to be another fun one. Last week was crazy. If you've never heard of a movie called Lavender, now you have. it was we had so many laughs. It was, oh man, it was crazy, man. So anyways, check us out then. And Val, thank you for reminding people. Leave a comment in the comment section. It also helps to support us. It's an easy way to do it, to support the channel, and we'd appreciate it. It starts a conversation there. Ginger Ninja said the Night Watch Zone for life. Ginger Ninja, thank you as well, bro. You know, like I know I say this a lot, but you know, I really mean it when I say for you guys that have been around for a long time, Eric included, and so many others. I'm not going to name everyone, but I just wanted to say for you guys that have been around for a long time and come to hang out with us stream after stream every single week. It really means a lot, man, because that's one of the reasons that we do live streams. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into that, but to have you guys here live and to engage with us, it really does mean a lot for all you guys, especially you guys that are content creators like Ginger Ninja, and obviously you, Eric, and Steven, and so many others. You guys have your own channels that you work on, but you guys support us so much as well, and we try to do as much as we can to support you guys. But it's just great. It's a great community. So thank you to everyone. We really appreciate it. So we will catch you guys tomorrow. We're premiering top 5 of 1983. Check that out. And on Friday night, we're going to be back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, next week, Battle World will be back as well. So we will catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. And don't break your promises. Peace.
Cheers.
Up, church.